Hello, welcome to Warriors Within, where we amplify the voices of every sickle cell warrior. I am your host, Coco Chanel, here to guide you through the raw, real, and resilient stories of sickle cell warriors. I'm here with my beautiful guest, Sherry. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I gotta throw this in there, aka the boss warrior. I was not gonna let that go without. It's such a pleasure meeting you.
Nice meeting you as well.
So,
Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for sitting down to talk. I just want to congratulate you because you said 7 years on your business. Let's start with that.
Thank you.
All to come to more to come.
Amen.
So I want you to elaborate because obviously I just elaborate you the boss warrior. So now they know that you the bosses of all bosses. Elaborate. What do you do? Tell them who Sherry is.
Okay, so I have 3 businesses, and I also have a nonprofit organization. So my first business is called Lewa Brows, and then I have a second business that is called Lewa Studios, and I have a third business which is Lewa Print Shop.
Beautiful. That is beautiful. And so explain a little bit about what made you even start these endeavors of these 3 business journeys.
So I did go to school. So my undergrad is in biology and my master's is in business management.
Okay.
So as I was in school, I kind of wanted to start a new business, but I kind of gave up on it. And then I was just like, oh, let me try it again while I was pregnant because I was having like a terrible pregnancy, and I also was going through a very bad breakup with my child's father. So I was just like, you know what, let's do it. So I took the class, and then I was just like, I remember I kept getting sick, and I was just like, you know what, Sherry, let's start a business.
Yeah.
So like you know when you go to work and you calling out, they're not like, saying that, oh, you're gonna get fired or this or you calling out too much or this and this and that. And I also wanted to be there for my child more. So I was just like, okay, well, if I start a business, I won't have to worry about all of this stuff. So I haven't been to that job since then.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Since then, so I was just like, okay, let's start it. And then not knowing that owning a business was going to be 10 times harder than working at somebody's job.
It is.
So, yeah.
It is. It's always a notch to take it, or another buck on your belt to make it harder.
But I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you manage it so well, it don't look like it phased you one bit. So let's dive into your journey with obviously going through sickle cell, because I know you probably hear this a lot because you are so beautiful.
Thank you.
So they probably seen that. Where you're not in pain? Where do you have sickle cell? I know they probably like, you don't make that look like you have it.
Yeah, I get that a lot. A lot of people come across like, you have sickle cell, you do all this, or Sherry, how do you do it all this? How do you manage your pain and all of this? So you want to know how I manage it?
Yes, I definitely want to know how you manage it because running 3 businesses and you're a mom.
It's very tough. I'm not even going to hold you. I go in crisis where it's days where I can't walk, I can't move. I'm going into the hospital, and I've had a lot of breakdown moments where I couldn't even, like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
So it's been very hard, but I do manage it with like taking care of myself. Like I go to the gym. I don't try to do too much in the gym because also when you do too much, you can go in crisis again. I eat healthy. Like I don't eat no fast food.
Really?
No
fast food. That's good. And that's good.
I may eat a fried. Like I might go in my daughter's
little McDonald's bag.
I might get a fried in there, but I don't
here and there.
And then my parents are Nigerian, so we eat like a lot of homemade food.
Okay. That's beautiful. Mm-hmm. So now I'm interested to know. So with your parents being Nigerian, how did that come about? Like, were they already aware of what sickle cell was, or did they have to learn going on a journey with you?
So my parents didn't know that, they both have the trait.
Okay.
And they didn't know until like, she kind of gave birth to me, and then that's when they kind of had told her, and it was like, oh, she's not going to live past 5.
Oh, wow. Which literally that a common scenario word that is really given to all my warriors. Every warrior I've interviewed, they all half of them literally said the same thing. Your life expectancy has gotten told to you, you don't even go past 5 or 10 or 15. So something past that, and then y'all always succeed and beat the narrative.
Correct.
So how did your parents end up like learning and growing? Obviously, because what was your first crisis like where they had to learn?
So my mom always said I cried like a lot when I was younger. So she couldn't really understand what was going on with me. But she said as she realized, she knew that I was going through crisis. So we used to live in Maryland, and it was very cold up there. So you know how the cold does to our body.
Yes.
It's not good at all. So we ended up moving here like when I was 5. And then, you know, I guess my mom, she learned a lot. My parents learned a lot when as I was growing.
So what made you want to make awareness? Because obviously you like growing up, I'm pretty sure you started seeing like this is something that not a lot of people around me go through. Like I'm different from all my friends. I'm pretty sure your hospital stays end up having like a toll on you.
Correct.
So what made you even want to like go ahead and like I'm gonna make awareness about it from?
So like in college, I had started a nonprofit organization called Pop Sickle Cell, and it was something called Preventing Other Pains. So I wanted to bring more awareness to it because it's a lot more that we go through besides sickle cell and the pain crisis. Like, you know, we get judged a lot.
We do.
So I remember when I was in high school, one of the people, it was like this guy, he was just like, that's why you got sickle cell, da 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 da. And it was just like, okay, that's like, why? That's not nice
it's
to
not
say.
Nice to say at
and
all.
Then, you know, I also was a majorette, and I was the one that couldn't finish the lap, or I'd be sick, and I'd catch a crisis before a game or something like that.
Couldn't play.
And then, you know, my parents used to like, I begged to be a majorette because every time I cheered on the park, I get into a crisis. So it was a lot of stuff that we were limited to.
Yeah.
So that's another reason why I think I kind of pushed towards my business, because people kept saying, I can't do this. I can't do this. And I was just like, no, I'm going to show y'all I can.
Yes. I told you earlier when I was talking to you, I was like, I love, like, when they told me I was interviewing, I was like, I love it because you just gave me, like I told you turned your pain into purpose. Literally with everything, like your aura screams it to me. I don't know why. I didn't, like I said, before I met you, it just screamed it to me. So I loved hearing when you said like, yeah, I turned that into something. So how's it been making awareness for the sickle cell community with your businesses?
It's actually been good because I used to be silent about it. A lot of people didn't know I had sickle cell, and I couldn't, you know, you're being judged about it and all of this extra stuff. So every time I went to the hospital, I would document it, and I actually would post a video on my Instagram, and a lot of people would reach out to me. Sherry, how did you do it? How are you taking care of yourself? They'll be like, Sherry, how did you manage to finish school? Like, I can't even turn in a paper. Yeah. I remember I'd be in the hospital turning in my essays like right before in pains, just because I was like, I gotta like try
you gotta finish
it. So my social media was very big, and a lot of my clients came to me because of my story of having sickle cell.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
And I went viral a couple of times just being in the hospital showing it. I remember one time I went super viral because I had caught pneumonia, and I didn't know I had pneumonia, and I was in Orlando, and I woke up in the middle and my heart was just, so it was like the pneumonia caused the sickle cell crisis.
Oh boy. Oh my goodness. And then you posted a video, and that's how you went viral with it.
Yeah, I went viral with it on my business.
So after going viral with the videos, that's when you realized like you could really start making more awareness with it. Correct. I love that. So how your journey with your kids, let's start with this. Do your children have sickle cell?
So my daughter, I believe she has a trait. I have done testing on her, and they keep saying that she doesn't have it. I don't know how, but I know she has to have it. But, you know, I'm not questioning it.
Yep.
But she's doing amazing. She's doing good. She's all-star cheerleader. Flyers get thrown up in the air. She does an amazing job. She knows she's only 6. She has been to the hospital with me. I kind of let her come into the hospital like a little bit like when I was sick, like maybe 2023 and 2024, she has been in there, but she doesn't really understand what's going on. Yeah. She knows, mommy has sickle cell, but I haven't really gotten to the detail about it. So she's still learning about it. But having a daughter and having sickle cell has been tough as well, because you got to remember, even when you're sick, you still have to be a mom.
Yep. And that's why like I said, when I got to interview, I'm like, wow. I was like, she has her plate full. Not only are you a mom, you run businesses, and then people forget you got to run yourself too. So you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not okay, then you can't run none of that's going on. So how do you go mentally? Like, how do you progress mentally to keep going?
So it's crazy you just asked me that. My assistant just asked me that in the car. She was like, Sherry, what do you do outside of work? And I'm like, besides being a mom, I do go to therapy every week.
Okay.
So I kind of like decompress with that. Gym is also a good thing for me. I go to Pilates. I like to read books.
Okay.
Like, I love to read books. If you go in my house, you see a whole bunch of books everywhere. But lately, it's just honestly, or I watch TV shows.
Okay.
So I love to just binge watch and just.
Yeah, because you got to give your body, like, running around. Like, and I always tell people, because obviously they don't know, we stay in Florida, but I can only imagine if you got one business and you all over the place, you don't got time to sit here and, like, the time you do allocate to yourself, it has to be needed. It's very much so needed. So I want to ask you, back to your family dynamic. So how many siblings do you have, and do they have sickle cell as well?
They all have the trait.
Okay.
So my sister and my brother, they both have the trait.
Okay. And you are the only one
who ended up getting it.
So you really are the Stapleton to make the whole narrative change.
Correct.
What is one narrative about sickle cell that you find yourself beating the odds about? Like,
that I'm the odds about? I honestly feel like I have sickle cell. Yes, I have bad crisis and everything but I kind of feel like I'm one of the blessed ones. And I'm not even, because I hear other people's stories and I be like, dang.
And sometimes there's some people's stories that are really deeper than what they think it is.
Deeper. I be like, people be like, I have it bad. I be like, no, I'm very thankful.
Yeah. I tell my son that all the time. Kind of like in and out the hospital. I think I always say this to every warrior. It does weigh on you mentally, because mentally you try to think how you can hurry up and get out of these four walls and then be a better person outside of the four walls. So I always ask mentally, how do y'all manage? Because I just put myself in those shoes. I don't think I call it prison. I'm not gonna. I'm a caregiver, so I only can imagine just sitting in the bed. You know what you would possibly think.
So I call. It's crazy that you say prison. I call it jail. I be like, I'm not going to jail today.
Literally,
like,
I tell my son that. I'm like, I'm gonna bust you out of this little jail. So I tell him that all the time. I'm like, we're gonna break out of here. I tell him it's like prison break, not to like make it sound fun or not, but. It's the only like betterment I can give him to kind of like cheer up. So what is what is one triumph time that you can call going through obviously this journey? Because you said 7 years, so I know 7 years you obviously done went through a crisis. You done probably your business up down. I can only imagine. What is one of the triumph times that you actually been like, yeah, you know what, Sickle Cell, you got this one. Business, y'all got this one. I'm gonna sit this one down for myself. Or you thought of almost giving up, but you kept going because you're still here, so you kept going.
Yeah. So that one time I was telling you about the pneumonia,
really?
I was like, okay, I'm not doing this no more.
Really, that was gonna be it?
I was just like, okay, got it. If that's what it is, that's what you're gonna say. Just go ahead. Like, I was just like, I was in so much pain. And then it took a lot of time mentally.
Yeah.
Like, it was one of my worst experiences in the hospital. Like, I begged to leave the hospital.
How long were you in for?
A couple of days.
Okay.
Until I begged to leave. I was asking everybody because it was just like, it was very bad with the healthcare system at that time too. They didn't really want to give me the medicines. And they gave me steroids. I recently heard that sickle cell patients aren't even supposed to have steroids. So I think that was another reason why it was just a very horrible experience. And I was just like, okay, God, if this is the time you're trying to tell me it is, then go ahead.
So when you said that does your family still stay in Nigeria?
No, my parents are here.
Okay.
And they also are entrepreneurs too. They have a business, and it's been what year are we in?
2025. I had to
so
by
in 2024, it makes 2024. It makes 24 years this year.
That is beautiful. So I'm pretty sure your parents also promote and advocate for you as well.
Yes, they do.
I'm pretty sure. I love that. So obviously, I want you to elaborate about your business, because that's what I want you to elaborate. So you have your eyebrow studio.
Yes.
And what else?
So I also have a level print shop. So I have any printing needs that you could want, from T-shirts to banners, from tablecloths to
I love it.
Any party favors, you could name it, we do it.
Okay. And then what's your other one?
So the other business is called Level Studios, where it's private studios, and each individual, they rent out spaces.
Okay. And which ways do you see that your businesses can be used to educate the sickle cell community?
In every single, in both print shops,
Yep.
in the print shop, of course, I could just advocate and I could make everything.
Yes. I love that one.
Because I had just made some shirts, some sickle cell shirts for one to Noel.
I love it.
And then my sickle cell, I'm sorry, my little browse business, due to the fact that a lot of people come in my shop, they already aware. They are like,
I was gonna say that I think that's dope that they come into your shop and they already know, like, hey, like, so it's like you kind of get a personal one-on-one on an education tip, like, because there's no better direct education you can get from somebody that already got it, that's going through it, and that
so
can educate
I
you.
have clients that come in, and then a lot of my nurses. So that was another good thing. So
Really?
at one of the hospitals, they be like, Sherry, just come on in.
Oh,
So it's a good thing too, because then I don't have to
yes.
wait in triage. I don't have to do this. They come in, they already know who I am.
Yeah.
So a lot of my nurses come to me too. So that's another thing. But they be like, oh, I haven't seen you in a while. I'm like, but they be like, it's a good thing.
That's a good thing. Yeah, because we don't want to see you guys in the hospital or going through treatments like the way you do. It's really severe. It's so severe.
So then they also come in and they're praying for me. They're saying, Sherry, have you took your meds? Have you been drinking your water? You see, I have my Stanley with me,
Yes.
making sure that I drink my water every time.
I love the support that you have.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yes, it sounds like you have a big support system, and in the sickle cell community, you gotta have support. Like, it's big, needed for all across the board. Of course, all across the board. So, is there anything within the sickle cell community that you would want to see a change in?
Yeah. I want like the health caregivers, some health caregivers, to actually see us for who we are. I feel like a lot of people, they kind of stereotype us and kind of just see that we're drug abusers. And I feel like everybody's not like that. And once they see, like, you going to the hospital, they be like, oh, she's in pain. She's not in pain for real. She's this. Or like, oh, just because we look a certain way, that means we're not in pain. Because some people handle their pain differently.
They do.
And I'm a person that you can't even tell I'm in pain.
Yeah, my son is the same way. Like, he will be literally falling over inside, crumbling, and he will stand up straight and I'm like, you're not okay. I'm fine. And I'm like, no.
And the crazy thing is, today my back was paining me all day today. If you ask my sister, I'm like, bro, my back is hurting. My back is hurting. My back is hurting. But but you will never know.
Yeah. That's what I swear, y'all. I call it a mask, because a lot of warriors I meet, they mask their pain so well, and y'all still get up and y'all still go work, go like pursue whatever you have to, and I'll be looking like, oh no, I would have caught it. It would have been done for me. I would have been like, give me my pain medicine, let me go take a nap real quick and call this over. So I want to know, like, what motivates you to keep going?
My daughter for one, my parents for one. I recently had my very close sister, Ade Tola. She passed from sickle cell last year, and it's been a year recently. And I just was like, all right, Sherry,
it's that time.
It's that time. You really gotta keep going. And I look at her picture every single day.
It's that time.
And I be like, what would Tola do? Would Tola be happy right now if you overworking and this and this and this and this and that? So yeah.
I love that. Is there anything that you would want to like say to the girl warriors? Because I want you to know you're an inspiration. Little girls would look up to stuff like that. Like, not only because they sit in the bed cell, like the bed cell, Lord help me. They sit in the bed all the time, and they can see, obviously look on TV and look on YouTube or however they can find you and see an inspiration. Like, if you did it like that, the same way you said, I sit in my bed and I did my assignments, they can feel motivated. So is there any inspiration you would give to the younger warriors?
So to the younger warriors, I kind of would tell them to keep going. Like, don't let nobody hold you back. Don't let nobody, no negative things. Like, just keep going. Have a positive mindset. Like, I'm going to get through this.
Yeah.
Even I know it's probably the worst feeling you probably on. You feel like you about to, on your deathbed. I just want you to keep going no matter what. Like, don't let nobody deter your mind. I don't want them to say, I just want them to keep going. Because that's my favorite saying. Like, all right, Sherry, you got to keep going no matter what's going on. Like, my friend recently just passed, again, over this past weekend, and I've known since elementary. And I was like, all right, Sherry, I get it. You're sad, but you got to keep going. I don't want you to be so sad that you're catching a crisis. And I almost did catch a crisis on Monday.
Oh, no.
I had typed my doctor. I was like, I'm not feeling good. I think I got to go to the hospital. They was like, no, let's try to go to the CT. And I was just like, I stayed home. I got some rest. And I just was like, all right, Sherry, you feel better? Let's take it slow. And then we just reset, and you just got to keep going.
Yeah.
So I don't want nobody to think that, like, I don't go through it.
Yeah.
I do.
You just manage it a lot differently. Everybody has their ways of, like, you know what I'm saying, coping and gotta go with it. You seem like you have a set system and it works for you, and that's fine. How about health and nutrition? How do you feel about that? Do you feel like that plays a major part?
Yes.
Yeah.
Help.
Okay.
Your water.
Yeah.
Hydration. And I was one of them. You could ask
He didn't want to do the water.
Maya or Dr. Harrington. They're gonna be like, they be like, Sherry, just drink the water. And I'm like, no, why?
I agree. I'm not gonna lie. My son we have like water contests, and I'm like, yeah, I can't. You got me 2 bottles and I'm done. But he go, like you said, with a Stole Stanley cup, and I'm like, that can't be me. I give it to you guys.
No, drink the water.
Yeah.
Get your fruits. eat the vegetables.
Yes.
It plays very good. Like, beets is good for your blood. So I try to drink beet juice a lot. I try to drink a lot of natural juices as much as I can. Especially with the Gatorades and the electrolytes. I try to do all that. But then again, also my parents are Nigerian, so my dad and my mom, they own a restaurant, so they cook for me all the time. Even if I go home and I'll cook.
Then that's the blessing part. So you get okay. I see where you're going with.
And then in the health part, exercise, take a long walk, get some vitamin D, sit in the sun, all of that. I think all of that plays a very, 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 very big role.
It does. It plays a very big part, because if you don't the rest is the key part. If y'all don't rest, your body can't bounce back. You definitely can't bounce back. So I just want to give you your space to actually let the viewers know where they can follow you, where they can find your page, if they can, contact you, so then they can know more awareness, get their eyebrows, get printing, do whatever they need to do. Can you let them know where they can follow you?
Okay, so if you guys want to get in contact with me, you guys can follow me on Lower Brows Microblading, Lower Print Shop. And if I'm an open book, so if you reach out to me, I'm going to respond. And if I don't respond, my assistant's going to respond. And especially if you are a Sickle Cell Warrior, trust me, I look at all those messages. I always want to meet you. I'd be like, please come and see me if you ever need help. So yes, it's LEWA Brows Microblading, and then Lower Print Shop as well.
I love it. I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
It was a pleasure. I'm going to stay talking to you sooner. That is the end of our episode. Thank you for joining us for Warriors Within.